Illuminate your hearts and minds of Allah salawat ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. Our intelligence, the knowledge or the experience that we have gained through the different trials and challenges that we have faced through our lives help us improve and go to the next step. When I'm going to work or studying, through the intelligence that I have gained, I'm able to improve and surpass the state that I was compared to yesterday. Now, this intelligence or knowledge has such an importance that the Imam Sadiq alayhi salam in a hadith he says that لو وددت أن أصحابي ضربت رؤوسهم بالسياط حتى يتفقهوا. I want, I would want for my companions to be hit on the head. Why? For so that they may learn, may improve and gain knowledge. Learning is a very important aspect that all of us must act towards. The Imam Sadiq alayhi salam in the hadith that was just brought, he himself says that he would want his companions to be hit on the heads for them to learn. Now we have many different types of knowledges, many different types of things to learn. But above all of these different ilm, these different knowledges, there is one that stands above all. And that is one's knowledge of their religion, their fiqh, or their knowing or their knowledge of their religion. And so we see from the ahadith or the narrations of the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam that one's aql helps them improve and learn and surpass their previous state of knowledge that they had of their religion. What is the aql? The aql in literal translation means the mind, means my logic and how I use my brain. Now the aql or the mind in the ahadith of the Ahlul Bayt has been used differently, interpreted differently. In a hadith, please let Allah salawat ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. That has been narrated regarding a story from the angel Jibreel, the most closest angel to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He came to Prophet Adam alayhi salam and asked him, O Adam, I have been brought down to you by the Creator Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I am here to grant you one of three things. You have three options. Choose from one of these three that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has laid down for you. One, haya, modesty. If you want, out of these three things, there is haya. You can have modesty for you on this world. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted you one of this if you reject the other two. What's the second? The second is deen. I'll give you religion. I'll give you faith. The third is aql. I'll give you an intelligible mind, intellect. The Imam Adam alayhi salam then replied and said that we prophets have been sent down by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to teach others. And the only way for me to be able to pass down such knowledge is through my aql. It's through my knowledge and through my mind. And so Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salam accepted. He said, sure, alright, I'll give you aql and I'll be going back to the heavens with haya and deen, with modesty and religion. When the angel Jibreel alayhi salam decided to go and leave, haya stayed and deen stayed. These two options that were left. And the angel Jibreel alayhi salam asked them, why did you say, do you not want to depart? Prophet Adam alayhi salam was only allowed to have one of you three. And they replied and said that as long as there is aql, as long as there is intellect, there will always be haya and deen. For through my aql, through my mind, through my intellect, I am able to observe the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How does it work? I come into contact with a certain knowledge, a certain ilm. And what my brain does, it starts translating this and uh, explaining it to me so I may be able to understand. It starts explaining everything, understanding everything, analyzing everything. And through this analyzation, I can decide right from wrong. And what happens when you come into contact with religion? Through my aql, I am able to decide whether I am following right or wrong. And when I follow the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Islam, I see that this religion is nothing more than for someone to maintain their modesty. Haya. Right? And so in another hadith from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, he prescribes to all his believers for them to have aql. And so they ask him, "Oh Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, what is aql? What is this intellect that you talk about?" He answers and says, "Ma ubida bihi rahman wa maktusiba bihi jannah." The aql is what is used, what has been given to you for you to be able to be closer and worship the Creator and be able to achieve and attain statuses in the Janan, in the skies, in the heavens. And so one question might come to mind. Did Muawiyah not have aql? Was he not intelligent? Let's go over some examples of Muawiyah's intellect. One, we can go over his politics. He may even be considered one of the geniuses of politics. During his time, he had such intellect, he was so intelligent and so sly that he was able to deceive everyone from right and wrong. And even after his passing, to his son Yazid, he wrote a will to him and told him, "Oh my son, I have done all the hardships for you so that you may have an easier life to me." And he starts portraying different outcomes that might come in the future after his own passing. He says that, "Look to Hijaz, they will be your helpers. Look to this place, look, they will be your companions. Be careful of this certain denomination, they will be against you." And in the end, Muawiyah himself, as keen as a fox, as sly as a fox, he himself says, "Yazid, I don't have any worries for you left for this world, but there are only 4 people that I worry for you." What are they? 1, Hussein ibn Ali, the son of Imam Ali alayhi salam. 2, Abdullah ibn Umar. 3, Abdullah ibn Zubayr. And 4, Abdul Rahman ibn Abi Bakr. And so we see from this will that he has brought into for his son, and we can see in the narrations of the Sunni denomination, Tamam al-Tariq, Tamam al-Kamil fi al-Tariq, he starts displaying almost everything with complete detail to his son Yazid. One of his geniuses. Another, for example, his ability to persuade everyone and give a satisfying reply, one that is not able to be answered. One time, the caliphate, the second caliphate, came to Muawiyah's palace. And on the way, he saw lots of poor people, struggling people, those who have low financial incomes. They were outside the gates begging for food, money, whatever that could help them. And so when he went to Muawiyah, he told him, "Muawiyah, you have such wealth, so much money. Why don't you help out the poor that are outside your castle?" Peace and salawat ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. And then Muawiyah answered with a very interesting way of reply. He says that, "O second caliphate, I will keep this wealth to me and keep this money to me." Why? Because there are spies among the Arab nation from the Jews, from the Christians. And so I will keep this wealth to me so our status between the other denominations will not fall. We will not fall in status in the eyes of others. And so the second caliphate replied and said, "Oh Muawiyah, you have always replied to everything that I've told you in such a way that I'm not able to reply back." You see, these are two examples for the genius of Muawiyah in politics, in his ability to reply. But did what he have, is what he had called aql? Is what he had called intellect? The Imam Sadiq alayhi salam then replies, he says that what Muawiyah had was slyness, was his ability to be keen. He was able to reply. This was his genius, but it was not his intellect. For through the aql and the intellect, one is able to be closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Did Muawiyah, though he had all this genius, all this intelligence, be able to have a good fate at the end his life in a good way? No, he was one of the worst enemies of the Imam Ali alayhi salam. Even holding majalis or gatherings for the cursing of the Imam Ali alayhi salam. Now, with the aql, one is able to get closer to the Creator and worship the Creator, correct? But for that to happen, for the aql to be able to completely follow the teaching of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim in such a way that when they come into contact with a certain revelation or teachings from the Ahlul Bayt alayhim, they worship the Creator or they follow that, there is one key, one condition that must first be attained. And that is the one's yaqeen or certainty to the religion, which we'll be going over in the future nights, inshallah. Peace and salawat ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad.